everything they can every day to push themselves, to support each other, to meet the standards that I'm setting for them. And I would give our performances overall incredibly positive. And, also not to just see 11 good players, but to see 15, 16 good players develop, and the youth and the adaptation to what I want us to become. I wouldn't have thought we could play a team like Uruguay and take them to their limit the way we did tonight at the start of this process. So we're way ahead of where I thought we would be, and it means that I told them now my expectations are even higher for them moving forward. So, but that's a good problem to have.
Any other questions?
I've listened to Jessie Marsch all day, and what a turnaround, and what a system he's implemented now with this program.
Be on top of the match for a full 90 minutes, create big chances. We were too much for them for most of the match. And, it's really unfortunate, but this is the way things work. And we're still a young team. On the day, we had 8 MLS players, 2 players that had played in MLS, and an 18-year-old on the pitch. And to play like that in this kind of match against this kind of opponent, I think is a big statement on the direction of this team.
Absolutely. We've got our national team reporter Matthew Shinetti joining us now from Charlotte. And Matthew, Canada was so close to capturing the bronze medal, finishing 3rd. But in the end, it was another learning experience for Jessie Marsch's squad, wasn't it?
Yeah, no doubt about it, because when you look at the journey, and I've been with them for a long time now, 44 days ago, I didn't think that they would end up here. If you had asked me after that second half against the Netherlands in Rotterdam if they would be here in this moment, having, as Jessie Marsch just said, pushed Uruguay all the way to their limits and be that close to winning a 3rd place medal, they would only have been the 3rd CONCACAF team to win a medal here at Copa America, I would not have believed you. Or that there is that word again. Jessie Marsch was just talking about it. The demands, the expectations he's put on his team. And in 8 weeks, they've responded and absolutely earned every single step to this moment. Now, when you look at this game, and I think there are so many parts of it that you can unpack, but to go down early, to then watch Ismail Kone, who has matured throughout this whole tournament, become a star headliner for this team, score that goal. And then Jonathan David, who we've asked so many times, when is he going to score? He scores against Peru and then scores what could have been the most significant goal in the history of the men's national team. But the one thing he said after, to me, I think is really key. Going forward, when you look at that game in Rotterdam against the Netherlands, the 2 games against Argentina, and tonight, he talked about suffering. The fact that the team, knowing when they're that close to something, a significant achievement, has to go ahead and empty the tank. Alistair Johnston said it to me after the game. But I didn't notice disappointment. Yes, when Luis Suarez scored, I was right by the Canadian bench, and it was completely deflated. But afterwards, no one was hanging their heads. Alphonso Davies had a moment by himself on the bench. But when I spoke to these players afterwards, no one was disappointed. Yes, obviously, you're going to be disappointed for not winning a medal, but they weren't disheartened, because 44 days ago, no one expected that they would be here tonight.
And the excitement of what's to come, right? Yeah, Jessie Marsch has only been in control for a short time now, and they've made such major strides, and we've talked about it quite a bit. You mentioned the Netherlands, you mentioned now you're in Charlotte. 44 days ago, this is where your journey started, and you've had a front row seat to the team and all of its ups and downs. What's your biggest takeaway from this experience, Matthew?
That night in Venezuela, the night against Venezuela, excuse me. Because that game, I think, showed that this team belonged. Over the course of the games, Argentina, but especially Peru and Chile, Canada was still finding its feet in this tournament. But then to watch Jacob Schaffelburg become a star, him scoring, the moment, obviously, when the team rallied around Tejan Buchanan. But to watch a team who's never been in a situation, a penalty situation like that, and to be so close, and to watch them grow up in front of the nation's eyes, it just makes you so excited for 2026. That night aside, even the way that they prepared for Argentina, the calmness, the confidence, those are 2 words I've been using for 44 days. This team has legitimately been that. But now going forward, as you heard what Jessie Marsch just said, the expectations are going to elevate, and he has put some demands on this team. I have watched training many times over the last few weeks, and Jessie Marsch has tried to go ahead and get as much as he can out of his team. But now going forward, he has put expectations on not only with their country, but with their club teams as well. He is going to be traveling around Europe and the MLS. He will be in Canada this weekend. He's going to a Canadian Premier League game, and he's going to want to see what the other talent has across the country. because those expectations are going to go up. Other nations may want to now play Canada in friendlies, but overall, that night against Venezuela in the quarterfinals of Copa America, to see Canada win on penalties in such a tense situation and then get to face Argentina, that moment, to see the team grow, that was the most significant thing for me.